It's a new year, 2022. The world has changed with the event of the virus. And I fear for a long time yet, maybe forever. It has changed the way we do things, but it cannot take away the memories we have. To keep my story up to date, this part is about some of the thrilling moments which stand out of our travels, that we will never forget, with a series of short video clips taken from films of our adventures. A lot of them was taken on Cinefilm, so the quality is not up to today's standard. And I have replaced some of the clips I found on YouTube, as near as to the same as I actually filmed. First, Jan has always been up for the dare, so to speak. Little clips of her taking part in the action, it makes me smile. While in Venezuela, on a river trip, on the Orinoco River, she took a swim. Crazy.
Many boats these days are for tourists. How better to get a taste of this mighty river? Its waters are over 80 foot deep and can rise another 35 during the August rains. The local rum acts as Dutch courage, because now it's time to get a real taste of the Orinoco. Is it to be the daring or the daft to volunteer? The currents are strong and a boom line was strung, but the jackets only needed to be held. It's not till after they tell you about the piranha. Only kidding, they say. But dead and smiling has to be the only way to meet these terrors of South American rivers.
In Penang, was not keen on the food we was eating, so she went and fetched her own food. Another lass. The range of eating establishments is superb. Everything from fine a la carte all the way to payment vendors. Our particular favourite was the local food market. Each store sells its own particular speciality, Chinese, Malay, Indian. From satay to stir fry, you can get it all. Of course, even this may not satisfy everyone. What have you got there?
Bread, cheese and onion.
In Rarotonga, Cook Islands, we watched a man climb a 50-foot coconut tree to demonstrate how easy it was for him. And he was 60-odd years old. And then he did a demonstration on the beach to make fire from the coconut. He asked for volunteers, and of course Jan volunteered to hold the stuff for him, and then she dropped it. Smiles all around.
Third, a true Cook Island Maori who delights in entertaining visitors to the old Maori custom. He calls the palm tree the tree of life, since, he explains, it is used to feed, clothe, provide building materials and firewood. Now aged 63, he still shins up 100-foot palms twice a week to entertain his visitors.
This is going to fiber number 2. What we're going to do now, I'm going to make a torch. And this torch is shaped like a bird net. 2 hands. And the next one will be the coconut leaves. And the next one will be the coconut husk. Sorry, coconut fiber. And the next one will be the coconut husk. Sit down first. Kneel down. Kneel down. And separate this from here. Come,
It
Joe.
fell to pieces.
Did you mean to do this?
We didn't get it the first time. We needed a second.
Now clips of highlights of the trips we did. 1987, while in Kenya, a must-do trip for us early morning to take a balloon flight over the Masai Mara.
A chance to get a bird's eye view over the Masai Plains was too much to miss, even though it was to be a 5 a.m. start. Unfortunately, it was to be a bad day for game spotting, with very little about. A good hour had gone by, and the pilot who had steered us towards the ground crew pulled the cord for the descent. A perfect landing in the middle of nowhere, then a sumptuous champagne breakfast was laid on for us.
With Tony and Maggie in 1990 to Venezuela to fly over the Angel Falls, the highest in the world. Tony and I took a light aircraft to fly over the falls. Jan and Maggie took a flight on an old Douglas DC-3 Dakota. We all met up at Kanama Falls, from where we took a canoe to a passageway which led us under the falls. Bloody incredible.
Indian canoes make a speedy ride along the corral, and it is arrived at last to the pink sand-ringed lagoon. The sight and noise of these falls shatters the otherwise peaceful surroundings. After landing on the other side of the lagoon, a 20-minute walk through the forested hills brings you to a pathway that runs beneath Sabo waterfall. Shoes on, clothes off, and go. Quiet to start and ear-shattering for Rusty as its centre. It's difficult to believe it can actually be done. But drenched, thrilled, and still unbelieving, done it is. Photos taken, The return drenching has to be faced before bedraggled believers can dry off over lunch before the return journey.
With Tony and Maggie again in 1991 went to Nova Scotia for whale watching, and we were not disappointed.
40-foot humpbacks and 60-foot fin whales, a joy to behold. Never a danger to man, but nearly hunted to extinction. Thanks now to worldwide protest and study by people like this gallant captain and crew, hopefully they will be a joy for generations to come.
In 1995, Dunedin, New Zealand, to see the world's largest seabird, the albatross, up close, and the world's smallest penguins. Very exciting.
Second only in size to the wandering albatross, the royal variety still has a massive wingspan of over 3 metres. The aerial ballet performed by these magnificent birds as they glide effortlessly, supported by the thermals essential to their flight. A little further to the south lies Penguin Beach, where the yellow-eyed penguin, the rarest species in this family, may be found. Viewing from ground level means that the penguins do not feel threatened, making it possible to approach within a few feet.
(1996), Zimbabwe, in the footsteps of Dr. Livingstone, so to speak. A canoe ride on the Zambezi was amazing. A helicopter ride to get a good view of the Victoria Falls. Fantastic. What a thrill that was.
The easiest way to get a feel for the river is by canoe, although you don't actually feel it. Dangling a hand can be an open dinner invitation to lurking crocodiles. A watchful eye also has to be kept for the ever-present hippo lurking in the shallows. They are really more of a hazard than crocodile, very aggressive at mating times or when there are youngsters in the group. Given a short safety talk when boarding the canoe, we were told that in the event of an attack by a hippo, let go of the boat and go for the shore. Not the greatest encouragement for a quiet afternoon. The gin and tonics provided were as much Dutch courage as refreshment. The falls are the result of the Zambezi River plunging headlong into a sheer-sided chasm over 100 metres deep and 1,700 metres wide. 5 separate falls make up this spectacle: Devil's Cataract, Main Falls, Horseshoe Falls, Rainbow Falls and Eastern Cataract. The area surrounding the falls is known as rainforest, whose lush vegetation has been created by perpetual spray. Paths through this forest provide excellent views of the falls.
(1996), the Gambia. I'd been a few times before, but this time met 2 guys who ran a microlight company. They showed us around and took us on a flight. (1999), the Galapagos Islands, another great venture. Felt privileged to be there. It's got more restricted now, so if you get the chance to go, you must go.
After flying from the mainland to Baltra in the islands, it is a short transfer to the boat which serves as a floating hotel. Taken onto the islands by small dinghies called pangas for twice daily excursions, it was Darwin who called the islands a paradise for reptiles. Iguana is the only lizard that regularly inhabits the sea. They are assumed to be relative of a land-going reptile, but have adapted to the ocean to feed on seaweed. However, they can only visit the sea briefly. They get chilled after half an hour or so. The most commonly seen invertebrate is the bright yellow and orange Sally Lightfoot crab. The size of a tea plate, they can be found on almost every rock on the shoreline. One of the most common birds, the blue-footed booby. They are an unforgettable sight, as their feet really are a bold, striking blue. Nowhere else on Earth would you swim while penguins dart like bullets around you. One of two of the world's only flightless seabirds, they are the most northerly of penguin species and found on several islands. No doubt the most famous of the Galapagos reptiles is the giant tortoise. Countless thousands were killed during the 18th and 19th centuries after passing whalers found that the creatures could be stacked in the ship's holds without food or water for over a year and still be turned into fine soup. Now only an estimated 15,000 remain. Of 14 subspecies, 3 are now totally extinct, and one, who goes by the name of Lonesome George, is the only survivor of his subspecies.
99 again, Yucatan, Mexico. We had a lot of fun on this trip and some of the best food ever. The ancient pyramids was hard work but well worth it.
Our guide Samuel always managed to find us the best places to eat and drink, whether it was included in our itinerary or not. From mariachi buffets to seashore cantinas serving the most tastiest of fish dishes, even a city centre restaurant where we spent the longest ever lunch. The food was invariably good, but who cared once we discovered the Mexican tradition of the slammer. Tequila, topped usually with Kahlua, slammed to mix and downed in one. A good aid to digestion, we were told, so we were just making sure we never got indigestion.
Don't say saludo, for Christ's sake.
Woo! Hey!
¡Bravo! ¡Ya! ¡Ya! Señor. We'll have you.
Hey!
Vamos, amigo, rápido.
Oh!
Up. Bravo, señor.
So Steve was the best.
Muy bien.
Bravo!
Uno, dos. Ya.
Most professional.
Come on, let's have Tony on this. Okay.
Throughout the tropical forest of Mexico and Central America are scattered the ruins of Maya cities. archaeological wonders built by a civilization that dominated this land for 1,000 years. At the height of their culture 1,200 years ago, the Maya were great astronomers, mathematicians and timekeepers. They developed an elaborate written language and a calendar that could predict celestial cycles to within 1 day every 6,000 years. Large cities like Chichen Itza and Uxmal were built close to sources of water. The limestone bedrock that hid the precious water provided the ideal building material for the spectacular architecture. Relatively soft when first quarried, it could be easily cut into blocks before hardening in the air. This stone allowed people without metal tools to build immense structures with precision and detail that still survive.
Now, closer to home, I met two guys, Peter and John, who let me film them setting the charges to blow up 2 tower blocks in Aston, Birmingham. And this was very interesting.
That's going to be a good one, especially if I get your mate packing that with clay.
Yeah. Use the stem line.
Look, that's the bit I want.
To end with a bit of fun, clips taken in Barbados, which would have been discarded as no good shots. Now, I put them together as how a holiday could go wrong. In the cold winter months, I dream of getting away to the warmth of the sun. I just have to get the brochures out again and find my perfect holiday. I can see it now, jetting away from this freezing winter. Landing on my exotic island, and soaring temperatures, cloudless skies, and hours of unbroken sunshine. A quiet, secluded location to totally relax me. Luxury bungalows, set in acres of landscaped tropical gardens. A path leads down to the complex's private beach. The hotel runs its own courtesy transport to take you around the local beauty spots. Private cruises can be arranged to ensure an even more peaceful highlight to the holiday. A reliable car hire is provided, including your driver guide, who will take care of your every need. Was that a bad dream? This is more like it. Well, that's all for now. Thanks for watching. Stay safe.